Getting high on coca to them is no different to others chewing gum or tobacco. 10 times a week, the mule trains arrive, bringing in nearly 2 tons of leaf every 7 days. It's a tightly scheduled operation, repeated daily throughout the mountains at dozens of other makeshift laboratories. It is, without doubt, the biggest and most lucrative cottage industry in the world, destined for the USA, where it's used by 12 million people, with 5,000 first-time users every day. For the last 4 months, the American government has been carrying out the world's biggest ever anti-drugs operation, 12 million regular users. That number grows by 5,000 who try it for the first time every single day. No one expected the child to be there. Her mother, hands tied behind her back, will be held, separated from her daughter, while the house is searched. Intelligence reports also failed to show an old lady living in the house, now suffering shock from the initial break-in. It was a disappointing result for the police. They found only a small quantity of cocaine.
What you're telling me is that you don't sell cocaine, and I frankly don't believe you.
Gang warfare removed the Italian connection, and now the cocaine empire is almost totally controlled by the Colombians. In the drugs world, guns and death often go hand in hand. The beginning of this trail of violence lies 1,500 miles away on another continent. High in the Andes Mountains of southwest Colombia, the Indians have for centuries grown and cultivated these small privet-like trees. They bear no fruit, yet their produce is so sought after that people lose their fortunes and sometimes their lives in pursuit of its beguiling properties. This small leaf is the bottom end of a trail which links the peasant hand picking it to some of the world's most famous and glamorous people. Here on the roof of Latin America is the home of that so-called elegant aristocrat of the drugs world, cocaine. Since glaciers first cut these valleys in prehistoric times, Andean Indians have used the coca leaf to combat the effects of malnutrition and exhaustion. Today, vast tracts of hillside have been cleared to make way for plantations as Western demand for the drug almost outstrips supplies. In this area, controlled by the left-wing guerrilla group M19, the Indian families and their plantations have little to fear from the authorities. Like most communities outside the big cities, their economy is governed by the cocaine dollar. This family's income is made up in part from Colombia's other main export, coffee. But the bulk of their money undoubtedly will come from cocaine. The plantation will be harvested 3 times a year and will earn them around $1,000. The cocaine, which comes from their crop, may be worth 500 times that amount. The peasants are aware that what they do is illegal, but the effects of the drug on Western society is something they just cannot grasp. Getting high on coca to them is no different to others chewing gum or tobacco. For the small team which runs the illicit laboratories, making daily inspections of the plantations and organising deliveries of the coca leaves can be carried out in almost perfect security. The guns of the guerrillas provide a shield behind which the cocaine industry flourishes. Government troops are loath to venture into the mountains, lending credence to the guerrillas' offer of protection to the drugs trade in return for a slice of the profits. Even the chemicals for the laboratory are picked up in daylight. Under cover of darkness, the process team make their way on foot and by candlelight to the laboratory about 1 hour's walk away. It's a small shack on the other side of the mountain, close to a guerrilla encampment. The chemist is Alexandro. Known locally as the cooking man, he's the link between the plantation workers, the guerrillas, and the Colombian mafia, a group of a dozen wealthy families who control over 80% of the world's cocaine market. Their wealth is legendary. Each family is said to have access to billions of dollars tucked away in secret accounts in the Bahamas and Switzerland. Not that much filters back here, though it's in small shacks like this, housing a lifestyle virtually unchanged by the passing of time, that Colombia's $2 billion a year black market economy lies. Cocaine is a family business at every level. While the women prepare dinner, the men wait for the first coca leaf delivery to arrive. It comes at midnight. It's taken this farmer 5 hours to cross the mountains with his load, a journey made more hazardous by the day's heavy rain, which has washed away many of the trails. 10 times a week, the mule trains arrive, bringing in nearly 2 tons of leaf every 7 days. It's a tightly scheduled operation, repeated daily throughout the mountains at dozens of other makeshift laboratories. It is, without doubt, the biggest and most lucrative cottage industry in the world. Once the leaf has been weighed and the farmer paid, the process begins with the coca being finely chopped. The American government is pouring millions of dollars a year into South America, trying to kill the trade, but with little success. The cocaine dollar corrupts at every stage, be it buying arms for local guerrilla groups or persuading the local police chief that his life expectancy would increase, with considerable comfort, by staying out of the mountains. The Colombian government has been persuaded to ban the importation of chemicals used in the clandestine laboratories, but at this level, the Indians are still producing high-quality cocaine paste ready for export. Ordinary household salt is sprinkled on the leaves to react with the moisture released by the chopping. In the meantime, it's time to eat. The son of a respectable mountain family, Alexandre has been making cocaine paste every week for the last 5 years. He says he was sought out by a stranger who told him how to organize plantations locally and then taught how to refine the leaves. In the short time it's been left standing, the leaf has undergone a remarkable change. A black tar-like liquid oozes from it. The leaf seems almost alive as it's transferred to a barrel. Under the watchful eye of the cooking man, several gallons of petrol are poured over the leaves. The petrol will act as a solvent, devouring the sticky black fluid in the most risky part of the operation. On occasions, a carelessly discarded cigarette or an untended candle have produced disastrous effects. It's a part of the process which Alexandre stays well away from. After a thorough mixing, the barrel is covered for the night. It'll take another 7 hours for the petrol to do its job. The apparent tranquility of the mountain morning belies the violent nature of the Colombian drugs trade. It is one of the most dangerous countries on earth, with around 14,000 murders every year. Much of the violence is connected with the contents presently hidden in this plastic barrel, cocaine. At this stage, it's still a labourer's operation. The leaves are given a final mixing before being squeezed dry. The technique is simple, as are the tools. A length of muslin cloth, some rope, and a stout piece of wood comprise a makeshift but highly efficient press. It's the liquid which contains the cocaine. The leaves will be wrung dry and then thrown away. With the hard work over, the chemist introduces his talents. With no facility for accurate measurement, concentrated sulfuric acid is mixed with water using instinct, guesswork, and, like the experienced cooking man he is, by taste. The diluted acid is then mixed with the solvent. The reaction produces 2 liquids of different densities. The top layer, mainly consisting of the petrol, is siphoned off for use another day, leaving behind the heavier solution containing the cocaine sediment. 9 hours after the process began, the cocaine paste is almost ready for extraction. But like chemists everywhere, the scientific mind calls for a sample analysis to make sure the mix is right. A bottle of potassium permanganate is produced and small drops mixed in with the residue. It's a perplexing procedure for the onlooker, as is the filtration process through a piece of sackcloth. Time and time again, the solution is strained until all impurities have been removed. It looks like archaic technology, but it does work. In the last 3 years, the quality of Colombian cocaine paste has more than doubled. The last step is the addition of a small amount of soda. The sample is now ready for testing. If the cooking man has done his job well, the procedure will be repeated on a much larger scale. A common handkerchief proves an ideal filter. The solution drips through, leaving behind the products of the night's endeavours, cocaine paste. The team are pleased with the result. The more pale the paste, the greater the purity. From here, the cocaine will be taken to the north coast of Colombia on the Gulf of Mexico, where it'll join similar consignments either by air or by sea, destined for the USA, where it's used by 12 million people, with 5,000 first-time users every day. It doesn't look very much for 10 hours' work, but this small mountain shack will produce around 12 pounds of cocaine paste a week. By comparison with some Colombian operations, that's an insignificant amount. But further refinement will give this £1.5 of cocaine paste a London street value of more than £100,000. In effect, this little hut is ultimately producing a cocaine market of £26 million a year. Colin Baker, News at 10, Colombia. Off the coast of Florida, customs agents patrol, looking for those who smuggle in fast boats. The American illicit drugs market is the biggest in the world, worth annually more than $80 billion. Last year, federal authorities intercepted 7,000 pounds of cocaine, 3 times the amount seized the previous year. Miami's Cocaine City. Day and night, customs and Coast Guard patrols cruise the offshore waters using intelligence reports, but more often than not, instinct in their search for smugglers. A $100,000 cruiser with 2 young men on board is a classic profile case.
Where are you guys coming in from? We went out to test the boat. How many people you got on board, Jeff? You guys got any guns? Okay, we're gonna board you, check the papers.
Heavy seas recently have kept the smugglers' boats inshore. With today's relative calm comes a certainty that someone will try and make a run.
1020 is 8 miles off Haulover.
A radio link to customs headquarters indicates the agent's suspicions are well-founded.
Juan Carlos Lopez. We have a possibility on a subject named Juan, initial C, Charlie Lopez, Latin male, to Miami Keys for alleged narcotic smuggling. Shows a couple of vessels associated with the subject, however, not the vessel you're stopping on.
Nothing found, perhaps just a trial run. For the last 4 months, the American government has been carrying out the world's biggest ever anti-drugs operation. The Navy's blockaded the Colombian coast. The Coast Guard and Customs have been stopping and searching many thousands of pleasure craft which cruise between the American mainland and the Bahamas, the main cocaine transit point.
See the name? Smuggler's Blues.
Only in the last 5 years has cocaine gained a stranglehold on America. There are now 12 million regular users. That number grows by 5,000 who try it for the first time every single day. With more than 200,000 privately owned boats, the Customs and Coast Guard have only a 3% chance of finding drugs during a random search. All these aircraft were seized when their pilots were caught smuggling. It's a tantalizing invitation for a daring aviator. One trip can earn a pilot $2.5 million.
I suggest that you come down to this extreme rather than having a bottleneck here at the gate.
In Miami, cocaine dealers and traffickers are heavily armed, so the police respond in kind. Raids are carried out almost every day using SWAT teams.
Artie, go ahead and do what we did before. You're going to ride shotgun for us this time. And I would like for you to go straight over on this side and take the side. If you see the doors, you're going around.
The squad's given a final up-to-date briefing a few minutes before the raiding party sets out. The SWAT team commander has just made a slow drive past the target. The team will be used to break into a house where 24 hours earlier, detectives working undercover purchased some small amounts of cocaine. They'll take prisoners and secure the premises for the narcotics team. They've been told there are only 2 adults in the house.
Valentine's night, 65 degrees out. Looks like a great weekend store. While that forecast coming up.
Chewing gum and listening to pop music on the way helps to play down the tension.
Cash here on classic tracks.
Easy stop. Easy stop, bud. Easy stop. Yeah. We're here, baby. We're here. Check it out. Stop. Easy stop. Wait. What?
No one expected the child to be there. Her mother, hands tied behind her back, will be held, separated from her daughter, while the house is searched. Intelligence reports also failed to show an old lady living in the house, now suffering shock from the initial break-in. It was a disappointing result for the police. They found only a small quantity of cocaine.
Keep your head down. They select. Put your head down.
This youth, threatened with a night in jail, eventually confessed he'd been visiting the house to buy drugs. He was later released. The SWAT teams use Armalite rifles, shotguns and submachine guns on every raid. They also carry a variety of grenades. On average, they get shot at 4 or 5 times a year.
There's the moon being riding.
On being riding?
The last raid of the night is in the black quarter of South Miami. Greater things are expected.
Okay, move, Tony. Move, Tony. They're over the fence. They're in the yard.
In the right turn, I'll let you know.
They're in position. No sweat, guys. We got it.
Most of the raids are based on what the police call confidential informants, small-time peddlers paid by City Hall to betray their former cocaine colleagues. The house and its contents are taken apart. In one drawer, there's a variety of ammunition. And in a shoebox nearby, there's a handgun which may be legitimately owned. Inside a lady's purse, detectives have found 35 screws of cocaine base rock worth less than $1,000. It's small-time dealing compared to more than 100 kilo of cocaine found in a similar raid earlier in the week.
This stuff's real crystal.
But enough is found in a back bedroom to warrant a major charge of trafficking. and a minimum sentence of 15 years.
You have the right to remain silent. The Constitution requires that I so inform you of this right. You need not talk to me if you do not wish to do so. You do not have to answer any of
The
my
prisoner,
questions.
Floyd Robinson, may spend the night in jail, but he probably won't be charged.
Should you talk to
With
me,
the threat of a
anything which you
long
might say,
sentence
answer
hanging
my
over him
questions,
now,
and will be
he could be
introduced into
persuaded
evidence
to
or
become an
against
informer.
you understand that? You want me to believe that you didn't know there was cocaine base rock in there? Mr. Robinson, I'm not stupid, and you're not.
Well, I'm
We're
gonna
both
tell you, I
adults.
figured there was coke in it, but I ain't know it was no base rocks. I ain't know what kind of coke it was.
Now, why would you take it into the house instead of calling the police and put it in your mother's purse instead of calling the police and say, hey, I found, you know, a bunch of cocaine and I want to turn it in? Why did you hide it in your mother's purse?
Well, see, when I found it out there, my girlfriend was there at the same time, and I was giving out my Valentine's card.
So your girlfriend can verify that you found it outside?
She don't know that I found it, but she can verify that she just left not too long ago. We were giving out the Valentine's
She
card.
had the dark car that was parked in the front of the yard and the front of the door, right? See, because we've been watching for a while. So I know what you did, and I know you didn't pick the bottle up outside, okay?
No, you own it.
I don't think I'm wrong. What you're telling me is that you don't sell cocaine, and I frankly don't believe you. And I don't think a judge is going to believe you.
I don't think so neither.
The police raiding techniques in Miami will always turn up some cocaine and some prisoners, but much of it is at the bottom end of the market. The drugs barons who control a multi-billion-dollar empire rarely handle the drugs themselves. Relatively few are ever caught. 5 years ago, the Colombians supplied the cocaine. The mafia in America ran the distribution network. Gang warfare removed the Italian connection, and now the cocaine empire is almost totally controlled by the Colombians. That's the American experience, one that police chiefs and government leaders in this country have been warned will happen here within the next decade. Colin Baker, News at 10, Miami.